Hey, just getting started. Forgot to turn my mic on to start here, so I apologize for that. Let me get you guys set. Well, it's that time of year. Time to start thinking about my perennials that I'm going to be getting going. Starting here in the greenhouse. It's just the beginning of right now. It's just the beginning of June, so give them a start here, and then go pop them in my basically pop them in my border for my fence afterwards. We got quite a few to get through today. Again, welcome if you guys haven't been here before. My name is Ryan Howe. Make sure I got a green light on. There's a green light, cool. Ryan Howe. I do work in my garden, in my greenhouse, come here live every single day, usually between 3 and 5 Eastern. However, today I had some client work. I finished up early, gave me the opportunity to get over here and get started here. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. So with that, I have a whole bunch of seeds to get started today. A whole bunch. That's an official amount. I'm going to take it to the bank. And again, a lot of them are perennials that I've been they've been sitting in the freezer. The ones that needed to. I've got a couple more that I need another 2 weeks before I can get them started. And then I got these that are ready to go. Again, most of what I have here are biennials, so they're going to get in and they're going to get set up, and it's really, I'm doing all my work for next year. That's really what it is. I'm not worried about getting too much in the way of flowering currently. With that, we are, basically going through the process of setting up all of our potting soil, getting all that stuff squared away so I can get my seeds started. And now these are meant really just to kind of get these to germinate. And I'll walk you through my process. If you've been with us before, you guys know the deal. It's the same stuff we were doing in February on the stream. It hasn't changed. It's just markedly warmer in here today than it was when we were doing this in February, March out here, as we were getting stuff ready for the garden. I've got currently 90 in here right now. Whew, and it's cooking. But that's all that being said, it's a nice day out today. We got a lot of rain here. I'm in northern Michigan, and we got pummeled with rain earlier today. So it's kind of nice to get a little bit of sunshine in here. Of course, it is making it a little bit more humid than I'd really care to have it, but that is what it is. I had to do a little bit of cleanup in here too prior to starting. So I've been in here for about maybe half an hour before we started, just so I could kind of get settled and get set. It's that usual transition. Hey Jax, what's happening? Welcome back. But it's that usual transition that we have here. That we are, I've got all my stuff out in the garden now. And, hey Erica. What's up? Sick. What's that? What do you mean, what's that? But anyways, you can see Erica. But anyways, we got all my stuff out in the garden, and now we're starting on my perennials for my my backyard. Again, for those that know, I've just moved into this property. Those that don't know, I should say, I just moved into this property 2 years ago. It's basically, oh, yeah. What's this? You talking about my greenhouse? Yeah, again, let's see what we got for, oh, there we go. God bless you, Jax. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Jax. Yeah, so this is my greenhouse. It's 6x6x16. I got it from Wayfair. This is what I basically use to set up everything. So, basically get started. It's got a lot of good stuff here. And then if you're a subscriber, you've been here during the spring, or basically in the winter, this is where we got everything started as far as all my flowers that I have out, along with a lot of my vegetables and things that we have going out there. So that's what we're here today. And now that I got that set and that's doing its thing, now we're coming into the season where I'm going to start on my perennials. And again, this perennials is a long-term solution. I could just go spend 10 grand and get everything in there right now, having it look pretty, but that's just not my style. So we're going to be going through and starting all of my seeds for everything that we're going to be doing separately here. And the thing with this though is that, you know, obviously it just takes time and space. You know, man, I sound like Doctor Who there for a little bit with a little timey-wimey thing. But anyways, you got to have the time and space to be able to do that. And in this case, I'm not in a rush to be able to get that because I'm still tearing up my backyard. So before we get started, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the garden. Then and I'm going to show you the backyard where I've started as far as setting up my beds, so I can kind of explain everything what's going to be happening. So let's go for a quick walk out in the garden. All right, as you can see, this is my greenhouse where it's set up. I'm going to flip it around here so you're not necessarily staring at me here. There you go. So the jet fan you've been hearing is this. These are the fans that are on it, 80 degrees to pull the heat out of there. But you can see nice little setup, 6x6x16. Got it off of Wayfair. Works really well. It's been through winter. This is my sunflower, my mammoth I started back in March just to give them a head start. I'd have one going. It's doing pretty well there. In the property. And I've got my corn is coming up. Sunflowers are starting to come up back there. Here are all my Brussels sprouts. They're going to seed. Guys just missed out on their nice yellow flowers they had. Here's all my chamomiles. Look at all that chamomile. Some of you may have seen my short that went out with these, but all this chamomile for my bees up the road, giving them plenty. That's all my cucumbers. They're doing pretty well. I've already got some flowering happening there. Then we've got, on this side is zucchini. So we got some zucchinis doing their thing. And then these are summer squash. And I think I have one, yeah, I got a summer squash right there. Doing its thing, getting happy. All right, this area over here, these are my tomato trellises. We did those on stream a month and a half ago. Built these out. And this is all of my tomatoes. They're all doing pretty well. We started all these inside the greenhouse. These are a 60-day slicer, and you can see here we already got, you know, this guy's going to start blushing here at no time. So get them rolling. And this is, and you'll notice I've got wood chips here and then compost there. As my compost fills out, we bring it out here and put it on top of the wood chips in the garden. I'm trying to build up the organic matter in my soil. It needs more, you know what I mean? All right, so then we got more tomatoes. These are cherry tomatoes over here. I got my peas. We got Buddha doing his thing. This is my this is a thyme plant. This is German thyme. Look at those pretty little flowers. So those doing well. I got carrots. I've got some lettuce, some butter lettuce, and then I got my different types of lettuce here. Got kale doing its thing over here, and then I've got some cauliflower living its best life there. My pumpkins are going, and then my butternut squash. So that's kind of that piece, right? So you can see we've been a little busy there. Working the greenhouse definitely paid off. I'm well over a month and a half ahead of where I would be if I was just starting from seed. So a lot of goodness there. Last bit here, you can see inside the privacy fence, we've been basically clearing out this area, and I've got to do all the way around there. You know, it's like 140 linear feet that I got to do worth of border fence, or border for my fence. So anywho, that's that, guys. So, and then all right, so the next piece here is we're going to start on our, what we like to do here is get started trying to think here with our potting soil here, which again, for our potting soil, what we do here a little bit different than you may have seen elsewhere. We actually start by hydrating our potting soil first. So I'm going to bring you guys down here, and the way we do that is pretty simple. We're going to, you start off with potting soil and basically sitting down here doing your thing, and you're going to pre-moisten it. How's that? Is that better? That come up better? Just seeing if that's any better for you there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that. Man, I really appreciate that. Yeah, no, I had it's these, so one of the issues obviously working out here in this area is that I go through a lot of these mics quite a bit, these lavalier mics, because well, I'm just out in the dirt and stuff. So sometimes it gets knocked out from the bottom of the phone too, the little USB adapter thing. So thank you for that. I had one stream where people kept stopping by, waving, and no one told me that my mic wasn't working. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Gold star for you. But anyways, yeah, so biggest piece here is that when you're doing this and you're getting your seat, I'm starting perennials here, as it says in the title here. The biggest piece you just got to keep in mind when you're doing you're filling up your when you're doing your perennials is a lot of them require the sun in order to germinate. Like they need sunlight. So for most of these, we're going to be just placing the seeds directly on top and just kind of pushing down just ever so slightly so that they, maximize contact with the, hey David. So we're going to be basically looking just to maximize contact with the wet soil as much as possible and let them do their thing. So most of these have been in the freezer already for a few weeks. I've got a couple more that need another 2 weeks in the freezer before I can put them out here. So hi, David. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here is, that's the biggest piece. So now the last bit is, again, as you're saying, once we get them in, we're just going to give these a quick push down to make sure that we got all the air pockets out of these, which is super important. Again, these roots, they want to, when they get going, they want to make sure that they are hitting, soil nutrients when they get to it. And for the most part, these are going to get transplanted once they are, basically just once they're going. I'm not going to have them in the greenhouse very long. Once they germinate and I feel that they're going to do fine out in the real world, we're going to get them there. So, all right, so there's that piece. We're going to do one more set here. Give this another mix here. Woo-wee, toasty up in here. Hey, that much. We have got all the heat today. Oh man, it was cloudy out here. Now we're getting all the sunshine. So the greenhouse is doing its thing, I can tell you that much. All right. But yeah, this morning, man, we had nothing but we had crazy thunderstorms coming through. It was wild. Crazy thunderstorms. It was cooking. When I was doing my morning show, it was, I was talking over the actual thunderclaps. It was pretty loud. All right. So again, we pre-moistened our potting mix here, simply just to make sure that it's going to fill in here just fine. And this is I think this is my second year with these pots, or these little hexagonal kits here. They seem to work pretty good. They hold up pretty well. Again, I know most of the time when I have my kits, they're gonna last a season, two at most. Just nature of the beast with these things. All right. I came in here earlier. All the crickets were really upset with me. It's making so much noise. Especially when I was in here, I had to clean up. I had like I said, it's been a couple weeks since I've really been able to get in here and organize. So they had kind of set up shop on me. So moving some stuff around, they weren't really happy with me, to say the least. Yeah, but yeah, no, today is one of those days you can definitely tell we're getting into summer. We had that pretty strong bit of rain come through. Now it's just hot and humid out here. I love about Michigan, even in northern Michigan, we go from, basically just cold, little bit of warm to, oh, we're in the Midwest now and it's, hot and muggy all the time, which is what we're going to be dealing with here for the next couple days, I think.
they are determined to have it be kind of yuck weather. All right, so we got these in. These are all set. I'm just going to go through and make sure it's good and full. I'll press everybody down. Make sure they're set. So hope everybody's having a good day today. Again, it's your first time on the stream. Welcome. Hey, my name is Ryan. Just a dude. I'm a business coach by trade. I help with clients grow their businesses. You do that most of the, throughout most of the day, and then in the afternoons, I come here live on YouTube to chat with folks about doing gardening and stuff. So a lot of good, it's usually between 3 and 5 p.m. Eastern. I have not been able to hit those times lately. Either I've had client work, or I've been traveling, or whatever else has been going on. You get anybody who here knows the drama. But I just, I come live and do stuff in my out in my yard and out in the garden. So a lot of good times there. All right, we're gonna switch out our gloves here. Switch out my gloves because these guys are good and soaked, which is fine. But I can't really have soaked fingers when I'm going after these seeds here. All right, so let me see. Turn that back on, help move some air. Come back this direction here. So we bring you guys back up here. So I think we're gonna do it right on the. Yeah, we're gonna do it right here. I think that's the answer.
All right, so next up is probably my favoriteest thing to do. We're gonna be planting. When these guys started. Where did my... That's not it. Okay. So that's not going to be the answer. We're going to have to figure this out. Alright. Where did my... Again, I'm still here, folks. I'm just trying to... During the last bit of moving, I think I misplaced my pencil. So I'm going to have to grab that real quick. That's about it, but I think so. A bunch of these guys here. So I can get all my stuff. I got a whole, like I said, we have a whole bunch of different types that I'm going to be doing as far as perennials. So I've got to make sure I'm keeping them straight. 1 second. Alright, I'm back, guys. Right. Okay, sorry about that. All back here now. Christy Smith, what's happening? Alright, so let's trade these out here. This sloppy mess that we started. It will clean out much better over time, for sure. Here we go. We're going to be just going to have you down the line just like this. See what we're working with right here. Okay, cool. What I'll do is I will try to do this in a way that you guys can kind of talk you through what I'm doing and just where we're at. But, end of the day, this is one of those ones that it's pretty straightforward. We've got... So this will tell you exactly what I'm working with here. So this is sedum right here, dragon's blood. Let's start this here. this one. All right. Okay. Now, what I did for all of these, the different types that I'm using here, folks, the different I'm gonna bring you guys back here, even maybe, just so you guys can. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys we can kind of. I can also see what you're up to. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So, what I did is I went and I actually got a Midwest, because that's where I'm at, Midwest landscaping, idea book. And what it is they lay out all the different landscape designs. They give you pictures, the pictures of them. They give you an overhead view, basically with the square footage, and they tell you what each type of plant is and how many are there. And so what I did is I just went and thought, oh, I need to have sedum dragon's blood, and basically before this, I went to Amazon and ordered the seeds, and been basically waiting for right now. So I have a bunch here. So I'm going to do 12 of these to get the party started. Maybe 12. Now these, again, always important whenever you're doing your seeds to make sure you read this. So like a lot of these need to be stratified first, i.e. they need to be put in the cold. This isn't one of them. So here's it. Sedum seeds are extremely tiny, so be sure to start these indoors for best results. So 5 to 10 tiny seeds directly to the surface of your planting medium. Do not cover. They need sunlight, so they're like petunias. If you ever done petunias, petunias need sunlight. Now they're telling me that there's 1,000 seeds in this thing, because these are absolutely, ridiculously tiny pink seeds. So let's see. I have no idea. It's going to be a little fun little adventure here. Let's see. Holy moly, these are tiny. I don't know if you guys can even see that or not in there. You know what they look, I mean, you can't even see those on. You know what these look like? I don't even know what it got on me. They look like when you get a splinter when you're younger. Like that one that would just bother you, you couldn't get after the tiniest little thing. Okay, so what we're going to do... Yeah, I'm just gently dropping these in here. So they're falling into a nice, basically wet medium here, which is good. So they're going to stick. And I know I'm doing definitely more than the 5 to 10 that they said. I thought that was pretty cute what they said that, considering there's 1,000 seeds in here, and they're all basically the size of atoms. They're tiny. Okay, so that's that. That's 12 of them. Should grab that book. 1 second, we'll grab it real quick. Okay, alright, I'm back here. So I got the book. Should have had this out here when I started so I can make sure. And again, this is the book that I'm using. It is Midwest Home Landscaping, Get Ideas. And what I did was basically just went with the basic. Look, you can see there. It's going to tell me how many that I need. So what is these are... Enjoy sedum. So 6 per. Where's the seed? Okay, so 6 per. So I'm going to have 1, 2, to do this entire tray of seeding. The entire tray is going to be seeding, which is cool. I've got plenty of stuff for them. And again, these are what we're putting out there again, these sedums. I just got to make sure that this doesn't have to get all of them here. Again, I'm just doing my best. The seeds are so tiny. Just making sure that these are I know I'm putting definitely more than I'm supposed to, but like I said, I can't really count out five of these things when they're literally the size of atoms. You see, they're so tiny. Alright, so that's the sedum. I almost want to turn out, so they should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 should give me that. Again, if I don't have enough, obviously the next year I can just grow some more. Okay. Or I can do 4 rows. This is 6 times 6 is 36. So I could also do 4 and that gets me 9. Alright. This one goes over here. Alright, and now for the next batch here, gotta make sure I can actually read these darn things. So we get these asters. This is 1,250 seeds of these asters in here. I just do the same thing with them, so let's mark these up. These are going to be asters. Hello. Again, this is what we're looking at currently. These asters. Aster, blue, and
Oh, hey, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that happened. That's weird. Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah, I was telling people earlier, I go through a lot of these mics during my time here. It's just the nature of the beast with these. But yeah, thank you for that. Sometimes these things are working on me. This is like probably my 5th or 6th set in the last year or so, just because I'm out in the garden and out in the yard working. So thank you for that. I was telling earlier, I had one crew, one stream. They let me go the entire, probably 3/4 of the stream without mentioning, hey, they couldn't hear me. So thank you for that. Gold star for you. Again, this is what we're doing. These are asters. This is for my yard. I'm just starting my the border around my fence. We're just doing some asters here. So, and again, we're in the greenhouse in my side yard, not necessarily my backyard. So hey, so where are you at? Where are you out of? I've been getting a lot of people from Great Britain and Europe on the stream lately. I think it's just because of when I come on. You there? What I'm going to do once I get these settled in here is okay. Ooh, what's your temperatures like right now down there? I think it's 97 in my greenhouse right now, so it's a little toasty, but what do you guys got for temperature? We had like vicious thunderstorms come through. Yeah, nothing like I had when I lived in Guam. So yeah, 83. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I think we're actually warmer than you today. Yeah, that's. I'll tell you. Yeah, I've been down to South Carolina a few times, and you know, I do love the state. It's very, very pretty. Oh, okay. That's going to be a thing. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. I got to talking. But anyways, yeah, I've been down there a few times, and what I really liked about that joint was, I mean, I like the food for sure. Um, I think, what is the name of that place here? Oh, Zaxby's. That's what it was. Man, I had a friend of mine. We were out, and he said, "Hey, we got to hit up Zaxby's." I had no idea what he was talking about. Man, that made my whole day learning about Zaxby's whenever in the South. I was like, "Ooh, that's where I need to be to get chicken." Try to explain it to people up here in Michigan, and they don't understand. Which, you know, when I say dirty rice, they don't know what I'm talking about. But again, not that I'm an expert in any way, shape, or form. Don't get me wrong, but that was eye opening for sure. All right, so these asters are all in. Got them started. No Zaxby's. Nope. It is we're stuck with whatever god awful lame chicken that they want to serve up here in Michigan. So, all right, I made a little bit of a mistake here. I got to take care of right now. I got to talking with you and put these seeds in the wrong spot. But I got to do a little cleanup here real quick. But yeah, we have flavorless It's a bunch of Polish Lithuanian folks up here. So I get meat. I get some sort of meat, some sort of potato, onion, and garlic. And every meal is yellow. That's basically when you know you're in Michigan and the Midwest. It hurts my heart. I mean, they do have, when you get down, I mean, I'm up in a pretty rural area as well, but they have, when you get down like Grand Rapids and Muskegon, which is, you know, south of here, you know, they do have Chick-fil-A out there, so you can at least get, you know, semi-decent, but I mean, I'm gonna take Zaxby's over, for what I like to eat, I'm gonna take Zaxby's over Chick-fil-A any day of the week. Except maybe for the shakes. Chick-fil-A does a great job with their shakes. It's kind of hard to debate that one. But other than that, yeah. No, trust me. Chick-fil-A's gotten me through a few times when I was in the Air Force for a little over 20 years. So I did a lot of traveling around, and when I first experienced the wonderfulness that was Chick-fil-A, I was like, oh, this is what decent service is like, oh, this is flavor. Neat. You know, I actually study them quite a bit for my and their training that they do for my work as a business consultant. Chick-fil-A is like world renowned for their training, obviously, with what they do. It is something special. All right, so our next piece that we got, so I got to see how many I need of this one. So we're just going to go back to my book here. Again, this is what I'm using to help me, you know, build this out for my backyard. And I'm just seeing how many I need per section. So they've got it built out in basically sections, and I'm just going to be repeating this as I go around my garden. And they tell you how many plants to have. That's the beautiful part about it. So these are, this is the salvia. I don't think this is a smoking type of salvia, but it's salvia nonetheless. Let's see, false indigo, daylilies, sedum. Ah, there he is. East Friesland salvia. So I need 6 of them. And which one is this? Oh, here we go. And it ends up looking like these tall little, well, actually I got a picture right on here. End up being these tall little purple deals that they're gonna have. All right, cool. All right, so I need 6 of these. So I think I'm just gonna stick with this pattern that we have here is, oh yeah, I'm just gonna give these guys a quick little push down. just to make sure they don't. That ain't going to take much though. They got into this mud potting soil pretty well. You do much gardening down there? If so, how's your how's your garden doing? All right, so these guys are just gonna place over here. Yeah, here we go. Next. Second year gardening. Nice. Like it. How you enjoying it? How's that first year actually? Must have been okay if it got you back into it. All right. All right, now for these, I'm a newbie. Yeah, I think, to be honest, even the pros, the best pros, and I'm not a pro by any way, shape, or form here. Always keep that mentality. That you're a newbie on stuff. It's always best to be able to just go keep that mindset. You know what I mean? All right, so the directions on this are non-existent. However, let's take a look at the seeds on here, and I bet you I can figure out what I got to do. Let's see what we're dealing with. Okay, so these, let's see out there. These are much firmer. So these other seeds that we had for the sedum and what was our other one that we had there? The sedum and the aster. The seed shell that they had were more like paperish that they want to have. First suck this year is wonderful. YouTube University, I know, right? Man, I was talking with a client today about the fact that, remember when we used to have to figure shit out, or we had to go to a hopefully have a library to maybe find a book that might have been written in the last 20 years to explain how to do something, if anything at all. And now we can just sit on YouTube like we're doing right now and just chat about stuff. It's great. I love it. And so anyways, what I got here is the shells on these are a little bit harder. They're a little bit more solid. So on these, I'm going to make sure that when I put these in, I'm going to drop this back in here. I want to be able to kind of measure these out. I'm going to make sure that these get pressed in pretty solid. Make sure they have a lot of solid contact, but they're not covered again, because again, the vast majority of, let's see, I'll pull this one up just a little bit better. The vast majority of your perennials like this, they need sunlight in order to germinate, just like petunias. So you've got to get them in there. But in case of the harder shells, sometimes you got to push them in there a little bit, to get them there. All right, so let's get this guy kind of filled in. What we're going to do is we're going to come around and just kind of press this in. All right. Now for each one of these, I'm going to get, how many seeds total do I have here? Out there. Shoot. I looked over and you were gone. Oh, yeah, either way though. I'm going to be going through here. So looking at 6 in each one of these, and the biggest piece I want to be able to work on here is just have good coverage. So these are going to be mature in 3 months. So when it comes to these are a 3-month maturity on them. The other ones they have, which is what I'm looking for. Basically, I want everything to be mature by August. So I get it in August, September time frame. It's mature, just in time to cool. Oh yeah, cattle panels. Yeah, did you all? Yeah, I've got cattle panels on. When I moved into my property, dude, I had a what was it? The people next door to me, they didn't know where the property lines were, and there's been an old one. There was an old set of clotheslines, like the clothesline poles. So I have those inside of my garden enclosure. I moved them over here since they became my property, and I have cattle guard going over the top for a trellis. I'm gonna have my cucumbers going over there. That's pretty cool. I like that. You growing any sort of sunflowers or anything? It's definitely not too late to get started with them if you want to. And I tell you why, if you're not. If you can find some gray striped mammoth sunflower seeds, you can probably find them at many of the Lowe's or the Home Depot, or you can get them online, gray stripe.
Oh, and I love it too. Isn't it great? If you get those gray stripes, they are great for using them for like staking things up in your garden for the next year. You cut them, you can cure them. They dry out. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, put them in the ground. They're flipping them. I use them for every. I mean, I'm going to show you. Look, I've got these over here. Right here. So these are all gray striped mammoth from last year, and they're basically like bamboo now. That I'm going to be using in my garden for everything. I use them for my. Right now, they're trellises. They're being a trellis for my peas. Yeah, they work like a champ. Yeah, and you know, they're the other thing too. Mammoth seeds are like sunflowers are the easiest one to grow. There's like literally nothing to them. They just grow. They're basically weeds. Right, so let me just take this over here. So this is my salvia. There's another thing that's kind of nice too. So one of my, yep, exactly. You basically, when you're done, you take the bounds off, and you just, if you have someplace dry, you can put them. They dry and they're fantastic. So to use. You want to see how I'm using? Did you want to see how I'm using them for my peas in the garden there? I can run you out real quick if you want to see. I'm not gonna, force you to take a look at my peas or anything, but you can see how I use them for my as a trellis. Here's this. How's this done? What's up next? Let's see. All right, so. Let's see, so this next one we're going to do is, oh, you know what, they don't care. I mean, I'm telling you, they won't care too much. They'll figure it out. I mean, they're not going to be, mine were 15 foot last year. I mean, but they'll still get up to 10 foot without even a ton of sun. You'd be surprised how well they do. All right, so this next one that I got that we're starting is called Dark Purple Clematis. Or clematis? That must be it. Yep, that's it. Okay, so this one that I'm starting off here. Yeah, I mean, they like a lot of sun, but I don't sweat it. You'll still get them. I wouldn't doubt you still get a 10-footer, especially how long your growing season is compared to mine. I got maybe 90 to 120 days of would be decent. You've got an extended season. So the next thing we're planting are actually going to be these right here. They go up and are going to be climbing up the top of my fence. I don't have the that little crosshatch up there. However, I've got a plan to be able to give them something to grab a hold of up there. So yeah, give it a, and here's the thing. Even if it is, they're still going to come up. They're still going to be fine. And you may get to where they may not fully mature, but you're going to know how well they'll do at that point too. You know what I mean? And also just because, in the gray mammoth, they are like weeds. They literally grow everywhere. Some of the other sunflowers are a little more picky, but those ones definitely don't seem to care too much. Okay, so this is clematis. It's the vine. Just gotta remember that. Should I spell this right? So, clematis. I also have, kind of have a little something. I'm just gonna. So I just need 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So that's 9. That's enough to get me through. How many more that I just took? Alright, I'm just going back to my book here real quick. Okay, Catman, I can try in here. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is clematis. Yeah, the other thing too, I have a little bit of cheat because my one of my clients that I have is for a lawn care landscape company. So I can just ask them questions as well too. Oh my goodness, look at these guys. So, all right. like I got a dime bag from back in the day, you know what I mean? Even if you don't, I think you can figure it out. There we go. Give me my little cup. Cool. But yeah, that's the one thing. The back to that though, the gray is definitely like I said, it's like a weed. Unlike a lot of other sunflowers, a lot of sunflowers are just picky little bastards. If you can, I don't know if this is the other thing. Thank you. We got to get you on more streams. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend you get one of these if you want to get started in the expand my screen. The only way I can expand it would be to turn it sideways, and then it comes off of. I'll try to think because a lot of this goes onto shorts, so that's kind of this is meant for like on the shorts on the vertical. If I turn it sideways, the stream stops and it kicks over. It's unfortunately the way YouTube on my mobile phone they wanted to do it. I could do it horizontal, but a lot of the folks that find me, they find me on the vertical. So I know it's a little weird, especially when you come across me and recommended, like on the YouTube TV, or you're like, oh, this guy's doing stuff in the greenhouse. But you know, it's just nature of the beast. I try to work with us. Thank you for obviously working with me. Again, for those that are on here who haven't subscribed yet, please do, and make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you get notified when I come live working here in my garden, out in my yard, doing stuff. Just a dude that likes to do stuff like this. So again, you can see these here. They have, this type is going to need to go into the actual soil just a little bit here. Get some coverage. So with this, I definitely recommend if you can pick one of these things up, they're great. If you want to get into, again, starting your own plants in the greenhouse definitely helps. It has basically measurements on the side and centimeters and freedom units on both sides over here. So you know you can just kind of eyeball. It'll tell you, hey, you need a 1/4 inch. It's got the 1/4 inch marking on here. Or hey, you need a centimeter. It'll be over there. So like I said, metric and freedom units. In this case, I can tell these guys are going to need to be covered just a little bit. Not a lot, but they need a little bit of coverage. Yeah, that's the one thing. So I do, and again, I know it's not quite. This one is called. It's called Jackman clematis. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's this vine. It's a little purple vine. So this is going to be on the back on my fence in multiple spots. I think my neighbor actually has it in around her garden. She always has something very similar to purple flowers. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what she actually has. It comes back every year. It's pretty interesting if it was the same thing. All right, so basically again here, I'm just going basic. I'm looking at a 1/4 inch of depth in here. Just enough to kind of get coverage and just barely cover these guys. Again, like I've been saying for the last couple of spots here, for those that haven't heard it, most of your perennials need sunlight in order to germinate. Just the thing. So we want to make sure that they see their sunlight. I'll tell you one thing that's nice this year. I got all my wildflowers. Oh, what's it called? I have no idea what this tool's called. I saw it at one of the homes at Lowe's or Home Depot like a year ago, and I was like, oh, that might be helpful. You know, one of those, I want to say, impulse purchases per se. Because, you know, it's up in a package. But, man, I use this thing all the time that I'm in here. And that way I'm not trying to eyeball it, you know what I mean? Yeah, thanks for having me clarifying your question. You're going to do get these guys in. I have no idea how this is going to work. We're going to give it a shot. Got my concentration voice on right now. I don't have the best dexterity. My time in the military, I got a nerve condition, so these fingers don't like to work sometimes when I reach and typically when they don't want to work, it means these fine muscle movements are dumb muscle movements. That. Do a couple more. And again, I'm not too concerned, like saying, if all these don't germinate, that's fine. You know, I'm just trying to get some stuff in the ground this year to get started. Next year, I'm going to be evaluating my entire setup to see what it's like, just to make sure that I'm good to go, you know. Again, one of the problems you got to make sure you keep an eye out for is that you don't want to overpack your. Let's just do this. When you start your, especially something like a border or a wall like that, and you're putting in your plants, one of the issues that people do is they try to fill up all the space at the beginning, you know, because they think there's any dead space that's going on that border needs to be filled in, and that's not the case, because it's going to naturally fill in and grow out. And I've seen too many people, when they start, they just pack their borders just full of every possible plant they can come up with, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. All right, so we're paired. So with this here again, I'd love to be able to show you guys this, and just barely covering the soil. Matter of fact, I'm even leaving kind of it, not just a little bit exposed. There we go. So I can still get some sunlight creeping in there just a little bit. I don't think they need as much sun exposure as those other ones do, but I do want to make sure that they are at least getting covered. The vines are usually a little bit different than those Isame asters and those other stuff. They are, you know, the seeds are a hair width in depth, so they don't have that. So, hey, welcome everybody who's been joining the stream. You guys have been coming in here for a little bit now. I appreciate it. For those that don't know, my name is Ryan Howe. I'm just a dude who likes to work in his garden, work in his yard, work in his greenhouse where I'm at today. I'm in northern Michigan, and thank you for joining. Again, I come live every single day between the hours of 3 and 5 p.m. normally. Today was a little bit earlier. I got done with my client work. I am a business coach at by trade, and then in the afternoons, I'm out here doing this stuff, chatting with you guys, learning stuff. So next up is dun dun dun. Oh man, that's the other thing too. I really wish the people, and again, I apologize. Yeah, sorry. Apologize for this overly sweaty looking dude look here, but the greenhouse is doing its job right now. It's 93 degrees in here. All right, here we go. I've got these seeds. I don't remember the name of them. I can't pronounce the name of them, but I'm sure in the directions it'll tell me. Daylilies. I know the directions. All right, so what do they want here? Cold winter, blah 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 blah. Painter to 3D. Fresh sterile mix. Got it. Soak one. Yeah. Good rule of thumb is to sow seeds depth of 2-3 times their diameter. I know that one. Okay, it doesn't tell me. All right, so these guys are going down a 1/4 inch. And these are daylilies, which are these guys right here. Okay, so these are going to be daylilies, and the daylilies, make sure I got the right ones here. Alright, just focusing for a second, folks. Okay, daylilies, so there's 9 of them, so this is going to be, I actually need to set up my own, another one of these here, so I'm going to set this aside. Alright, so we're going back down here, and we're going to be prepping, filling up one more of our seed starters here. We'll go with 4, 5, 6, 7. Need this one. Need a bunch of these. So this guy's going to just build up. So luckily we have gloves for that. So let's get back into this here. Hopefully we have enough. If not, we get to go through everybody's favorite thing with Ryan is loading up seed start, basically loading up our pods here. Now with this, as always, we start with potting soil that's, you know, is what it is for potting soil. Not too worried about it. This is just some good stuff that I've got from my nursery. Guy swears by it. And what we do though is we actually pre-moisten our potting mix ahead of time. So that way I can just go right in, because one of the things you do with potting mix is that it is very hygroscopic. It does not like to absorb water. So when you put it in here, right, then you try to fill it up. You've got this thing where you gotta, you know, I've seen some stuff on the YouTube where people will fill this up with dry potting soil. Then they'll fill this bottom section, right, up with a ton of water. Then they sit this down in there for 45 minutes while they wait for the water to saturate the soil, which again, if that's what you want to do, hey, you do you if it works for you. I'm not trying to tell you you're doing anything wrong. In my world, we take the potting soil and we just dump a metric ton of water on it. So leaf miner on my, oh man, that stinks. That stinks. Yeah, once they set up shop, it's next to impossible. You know, you really just, I mean, it's pretty much, you're having to spray a bunch, and even then, no one likes to spray. Oh man, that stinks. That stinks. But again, where I go to is we take the potting soil, we actually go ahead and make sure that it's loaded up with water first, pre-hydrated. So that way we can just get in and get right to business, you know. And once you put the stuff in here, you just give it a little pat down just to make sure that all the air pockets are out of it, and fill up anywhere where you got some low spots. Anywhere you got some low spots. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do this next one. So all of these, this is, I'm going to basically load this entire thing up with as many daylilies as I can, because it's saying I need a bunch of daylilies. You know, make sure I got that right. Daylilies. Use 9. Yep, 9 for 9 times 8 is 72, according to Grant Griswold, who was my math teacher back in the day. He's actually my neighbor now too, which is really weird. Yeah, he mows one side of the corner. I mow the other side. It's kind of weird moving back home. Guy who used to yell at you and kick you out of class for being dumb. Now I'm busy negotiating with him on how much mowing I have to do. Life is weird sometimes, you know. But anyways, so biggest piece here is, you know, just getting the stuff in here and make sure you got a good set. Again, I'm going to go back to this with these perennials. They're, you know, your annual seeds are, you know, they're not as picky. They're designed to hit the ground and just get growing. Your perennials, they're usually hardier, although we did see, as we saw in the first set that we did, that, you know, some of them are definitely finer, but they make a metric ton of them. I mean, that's, you know, one seed packet of the astrums had 1,200 seeds in it, and it was just a regular size of a regular seed packet. So they just produce a ton and go from there. You know. All right, so there's that. And there's that, guys. Boom, we're ready to go. 5 minutes. Fully packed seeds. All sorts of happiness. Again, this isn't like the potting soil that you get at the Mega Mart either. Although I think I do see this one at Lowe's from time to time. So they may actually get this one too, just because it's a local person. So I got another one I'll fill in with this one in a second. Put those guys in. Keep them covered. Okay. Back up we go. Alright. You guys back from waist high there. Let's see what we're doing here. So we are then back to our daylilies, and you can see on the daylilies here, they are much more robust and hardy seed. We'll have your You know, last year my mom, she deadheaded all of her marigolds, and I did 200 and almost 220 marigolds this year. Yeah, 200, I think 212 or some number, whatever it is. 72 times 3, whatever that number is. And I think it's like 216. I think that's what my brain just said. But anyways, we did that many, and I'll tell you, it's one of those things, it's just amazing to see. I still had 1,000 seeds left over, and she barely even deadheaded any of her marigolds. You know, just how much they produce, it's just insane. That's another one too. So again, if you're new into this, new into gardening and setting this up, one of the things that we all do that we try not to talk to too many people about is we all go to Lowe's and Home Depot midsummer, towards the end of summer, when all the plants are basically, you know, the perennials that they have and annuals are mature. We go over there and start deadheading their flowers. Everyone does it. It's okay. They're going to toss them out anyways. No one's going to buy them. So you got all of those. You got all that wonderfulness that is available to you to go grab. Some free flowers is something maybe you want to try. Yeah, we all do it. Everyone does it. It's kind of like sneaking having that grape when you go to the grocery store. And I just want to test these grapes to make sure that they're just as delicious as they look. You gotta give them that test. The same thing with deadheading as you're going through Home Depot and Lowe's. Alright. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day today. Appreciate y'all swinging by the stream here. I got a lot of folks coming in and out like normal. Like, what in the heck am I watching? That's probably been my favorite one. Folks coming through and they just look at me like, what in the world is this guy doing? Little do they know, they're not alone. Everybody asks that question even during the day, during my normal job. It's okay. Okay. So again, I'm just going through and again, this is another piece just to keep in mind. Don't rush your prep. You know, like a big chunk of what I'm doing here is I'm actually testing to see what what's going to be at the cover for my seeds too, as I'm going into here, because I don't screen my potting soil. It's just not something I do. It's like a step I don't want to deal with. I don't mind this here. But you definitely want to make sure. Yeah, there's a lot of folks don't know what the heck I'm doing. They come in here and they're just silly. It's okay. It's a lot of kids, and that's fine. It's the internet. We're supposed to have kids. I mean, I'd be doing the same thing if I was their age. But you always want to make sure to take your time on your prep. It's super important. You want to give your seeds so you need to know your seeds. You know, read up on them to make sure you fully understand what type of medium they need to be successful. And like in this case, there's a big chunk of something I don't want in. Let me get that kind of set up, so I gotta be getting that. But also you'll get to know if you're, which seeds need to be, spherified, i.e. put in the freezer for a couple weeks or the fridge, and which ones don't. And, it's important because again, that a lot of those seeds, they have to go through that freezing cycle to kick them out of dormancy. You got to go through it and then warm up, and then they're ready to germinate. It doesn't mean that they still won't germinate, like if you don't do the cold snap to them, but it does increase the likelihood of their germination. It makes it much more viable seeds. But again, you got to know which types you have. And not all seeds are that way at all. So, same thing with like your for those if you ever want to save your tomato seeds, you got to keep in mind like your tomato seeds and your cucumber seeds. You want to save those for next year, which I always recommend you do. You got to ferment those. They need to be fermented. And what that does is it breaks down that shell, then dry them out. That way next year they're gonna be ready to go, because in the wild they ferment when they hit the ground, and then they dry out over the winter, freeze up, boom. Next day they're ready to go. Or next year they're ready to go. Which right now in my area where I had my tomatoes that weren't doing well last year, they're all germinating. All of them. All of the tomato, the cherry tomatoes that I missed that just fell down and I didn't think of, they have all decided to start germinating. that's actually what the vast majority of my weeding is right now, is going and killing tomato plants that are over in my lettuce. And it was right move though. Like my lettuce is doing so good in that area, and that's another part of it too. Is you're just figuring out where your stuff's going to grow at. You know, you never really know where your stuff is going to do well at, and it took me last year to realize the amount of how much less sun one corner of my the south side one corner, the west corner, the southwest corner. Good Lord, Brian, use words. The southwest corner of my garden gets 2 hours less sun, direct sunlight, than the rest of my, than the southeast corner. No, the southeast corner of my garden gets 2 hours less sunlight than the southwest corner of my garden. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. But I didn't think of that when I was setting it up. And what that did is it caused a whole bunch of stunting in all my tomatoes. It took forever for them to get going. And this year, man, everybody's off to the races. Happiness. I got maters. I already got maters on the plant, on the vine. And multiple tomatoes going out there. Cucumbers are doing their thing. So it's just a matter of figuring it out. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to have all sorts. Alright, cool. I had enough. I was a little worried there because I was only supposed to get 50 seeds. It's kind of like, what was that, the story of Hanukkah. Right? I'm supposed to only have one night of oil and made it for 8 days. I was only supposed to have 50 seeds. Somehow I got 72. Actually, I got closer to 78. Alright, now these are daylilies. Let's go and cover these guys up. And for here, they were simply just saying give them a good covering. And I hope, I hope I tell you, I'm hoping everybody's just having a great, great day today. It is just, as somebody who's lived, not in this country for a big chunk of his life while I was in the military, I am thankful every day when I come back here and I just get to see that we're back here in the USA. It is just so awesome. So awesome right now. What we have, how blessed we are to have what we have. I spent a lot of time obviously in the Middle East, but also over in Asia, Southeast Asia, and we are just lucky with what we have compared to what the rest of the world has. We have the ability just to be able to get certain things. It's amazing. So if you haven't looked around and said, man, I'm glad to hear and be in this country that all I have, please take a moment. And again, if you're in the U.S., if you're in another country, you're welcome to come visit our small businesses and spend money there. They could use your help. So, anyways, that's my little 5 minutes of joy about being an American. So with that, next week I'm going to Louisiana. I'm going to New Orleans. I have a conference down there, and of course they would have a conference in New Orleans in June, and bring somebody from the north down there, so I can be sweaty and uncomfortable down there. Last time I was there was during Mardi Gras, so it was a lot cooler out, which was nice. Obviously it's going to be hot and ridiculous. Go down there. I've got a conference for work. I build a lot of the tools that we use in my business as far as for helping business coaches or helping businesses grow. The tools that the executive and leadership teams will use to make decisions with their company. I build a lot of those things out. So we've got some new ones that we're going to be launching. So I got to go down there for that. Train everybody up. Good times. And while I'm there, I may or may not do a little bit of gambling just for fun. Maybe just a little bit. Just tiny little bit. Don't want to do too much. Just enough to get the blood, get the blood pumping, you know what I mean? Okay, here's my daylilies. All 72 of them. Okay, so now I got room for 3 more. Yeah, I got left here. I think the rest of these are all going to be okay. Platonic snowbank. Ooh. All right, so 25 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 3, 6. 3, 6, 9, that's what, 18? This says these are 25 seats. So this next one I'm doing, these are called Platonia Snowbank. They're basically a large, holy moly, those itty bitty little seeds. My goodness. That is tiny. These are definitely just going to be touching the top types here, so let's see. I don't want to do this. I think I want to get another. Oh, what do we got here? Good seeds. Catnip. Wait, where's my catnip? Use 3. 3 times. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to do my catnip next. That's what we're actually going to do. So I have catmint. See those little bitty seeds there? So if you want to see catmint, this is what it actually looks like there. It's these blue little tall guys is what they are. I'm going to give this guy a fresh little bit of water here. Because I want to make sure this is nice and moist. The seeds here. There. What we're going to do next after this, get this done, and I got my other ones, we're going to come in here and we're going to water and fill up the tubs underneath each one of these. Make sure these all stay nice and moist. Again, hope everybody's learned a little something today. You know, this is always interesting doing these perennials. They're just a different, you know, than what we're typically used to, you know, when we do things. So in this case, I'm gonna have to be like super careful with these because there's not many of them. Wow, those are tiny. How do we want to go about doing this? I don't even know. You know what I'm gonna do? This guy doesn't have anything in it. There we go. I'm gonna put these in here. See how it's got this little lip in there? You know, the little zip part, the zipper, the lock and the zip lock. The seeds get stuck there, and so when you go to try to bump them out, you put out more seeds than you want to. So you want something smooth that you can kind of do your best to measure these out into best of your ability. That's what we're going to try to do here. Got some that's stuck over there, and there we go. All right, transition complete. So I got 18 of these, so I need to put basically 3 on each one, and see how that goes. Because there were 100 of these. That'll let me come back and see what I got to do. And really, all I'm doing is just like you're thinking here. It's just a light tap, and we're literally just sprinkling them on the surface. I'm going to come back through and give these a push. Just press them down a little bit. Not going to cover them. I do want to make sure that they are seated. Come on, need more. Come on, you. A couple the left in there. Come on, let's go. You definitely did give me 100 seats on this. Hey, pretty. We got the redhead staring at me over here, watching me do stuff. I'll be in a little bit. I only got 2 more sets of flowers to do. All right, so there's those. That would be my significant other, keeping me in line, making sure I don't spend all day out here. Keeping me straight. I married way over my pedigree. But with that, there is, obviously some other parts of that too, where she keeps me in line, which is what I love her for. Always there. All right, so that is my cat mint. I just made cat mint. Make sure I say that correctly. Got that cat mint that we're doing. And again, just starting these things is one of those, is a challenge, into itself. Getting these things rolling. So I've got 3 sets now. They're good. Now I need, all right, so let's see these last ones here. I already know this one I'm going to find. So I've got Black-Eyed Susans. There's a bunch there. And then what are these? Rare flower. Wait, no, I got 3 left. I still got to do those snowbank petunias, which are these. I don't have enough, which I need a pack of these for. These going. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and cut up here. My battery's starting to go, so it's been real. Y'all take care, and I will see you next time.